We're gonna show you a little what we do for a living. We're showing you what we done at the salvage yard, and this is our bread and butter. Anybody around this area, we start talking about replacement windows, probably our name will come up somewhere. But I'm gonna show you a little what we do. I've already done some sawing. I didn't want sawdust to get all over my camera, but you'll notice there'll be a 1/2 inch stop right here that the storm windows will be attached to on each side and the top. Cut that off, and then you'll notice them staples, really just 3 staples on each side. Hold the window and you give it a good yank.
Watch the springs.
Yeah, watch the springs. All of them have some kind of different track. And then a replacement window. Got it? Get that thing pretty level. And you'll notice how much a crack on each side. When you measure these windows, you usually get like the shortest, smallest measurement. Take like 3/8 off the side and a 1/2 inch off the top. I got it good and level. You make sure you level, but this window will rack. Go one side to the other, and one side of the sash might show and it'll have like a sawtooth look to it. So you make sure you rack the window straight.
You have to make sure that you don't have a gap in the center.
Yeah, the sides sometimes open up and you have a gap on the inside, and there's shims on a lot of these replacement windows that you can tighten everything up. Once it gets like that, we put foam insulation, it'll hold it.
I do my shims first, get it where I want, and I still put some screws in it.
Well, she's got it cinched up, screws. We're gonna get some foam insulation. And anybody that gets foam insulation, I don't know if it's the blue is the marker of it, but it'll say window and door. That means it's low expansion. You put this wrong stuff in between those windows and it'll squeeze it together so hard you won't be able to get the windows open. So you make sure you get a low expansion for windows and doors. You'll be in trouble. And if you're gonna do any windows at all, if you do just your house alone, you might be all right with just a great stuff can with a straw on it. But this here, I can use this can today, tighten it up where no air or nothing get out of it. And that thing's good for a month. I can just loosen it up and I can start to use the rest of this foam. Yeah, but I get foam all up under there. Nicole bent me some metal. Get my caulking. I'll show you another little trick people do with these windows, or I do. I've worked for Window World, Windows USA, several other companies. Worked for my dad. Say I put my first window in, I was 14, so. And I'm sure somebody might want to do it different than me. Make sure my lens is clean. All right. Now I already got my lens. I'm gonna mark that thing. I don't do my tape measure too much. I like to hold it up there. And I taper that in because I need this the longest. If I make that even, it'll give me a little fit. So I even get the other end and make a little angle. I'll put this thing in here, make sure it fits good. And then I'm making these windows what I call a picture frame. And I'll show you when I get through. This thing's made like it's a seal, flat across here. And it comes down, it's 45 up there. When I get through with it, it'll be 45 up there, it'll be 45 here, and it'll look all the same. And I'll show you how I cut these. Each to their own. Anybody that uses these big old bull snips that they have, cut this aluminum, they might can do it, but they're not as particular as me. You got right hand and left hand snips. That makes the cut a whole lot better. Now I'll show you that accessory groove. Now you can see, I'm gonna slide it in there all the way across, and that metal slides in that groove about 3/8 of an inch. And then I'll get my pencil and make a light line. I'll show you what I'm gonna do this for. Talked about the caulk on this side, but I didn't talk about the caulk on the other side. I see I got that pencil. I know how far my metal's coming out, and I don't want my caulk to squeeze out past it. I want that 3/4 turned out. Uh-oh. My caulking wanted to mess up. But lay a bead of caulk. And in these mortar joints, you might have to lay a little bit more, because we don't want it when somebody's pressure cleaning this thing. We don't want no water to blow back in there. And I'll show you how this thing goes. Slide it back in there. And it's set down on that caulk right there. I push it down, not too tight. And I try not to show nails as much as I can. Now, this is how I'll do my side. I got my length for this left side. I made a little boo-boo and had to remake my metal. Trying to go step by step with this camera and show you something kind of messes my mojo up. I'm used to just doing it without thinking. If I think about it, I mess up. All right, let's see. Mark that jewel right there. I'll do about the same up top. I made this straight. I got a little angle here. I'm not going to get greedy with my angle. I'm just going to have enough to say I got one. And when I put it up there, and cut a little bit more. a little crack, it ain't no big deal, but I try to make it as close as I can. You have to have some caulk, but I try not to have no more caulk than we have to. Yep, that's it right there. So I need to take this a little bit more. Now you see I got it in that accessory groove. Looks good right there. And again, I'm gonna make a light pencil mark so I know how far not to run my caulk out. You run it down when you get in them joints, you might have to push a little caulk out. Because you want this thing, if somebody pressure cleans it, it's not gonna blow water in behind it or a storm, blow some rain in behind it. Yeah. Got that caulk squished in my hand behind there. If that thing dries, it ain't gonna come off. Alright, let's go to the right side. Get my measurement, 42 3/8. Like I say, them ends, I don't need them square. Make it a whole lot easier. Got this out of the way. I have to get used to showing somebody how to do this. And like I say, I got just a little bit of angle, but I'm not gonna. I'd rather go back, take a little bit more, but I can't add it. I'm on a 45, and I never go from a 45 here. I always go down here. If you do a 45, you seem to have a hole right there. And I got a little angle on that. So I'm gonna put a little angle on this. You can tell I need a little bit more angle, but I don't want to take too much. See, that's how it's supposed to look. Again, I get my pencil, make me a light mark. pull it back out. And I'll go back and put me some caulk. It's just a pretty piece of metal. Look at that. And you can put your nails anywhere. I make sure I don't put nails on the top side for water to get in. But you gotta have some nails sometimes. And I need this corner pulled in tight, so I usually put it through there and catch that brick mold. Then at the top, I need to push in. I usually put it on the inside. All right, now Cole's gonna give me the top piece. Like I say, that's my total length. And I angle just a little. I'm gonna cut that off anyways. But I like to stick it up there when I get it precise. See, that will be my top. Oh yeah, it cuts, it's perfect when you sit up there and it holds itself. And I do them side cuts too. I don't get them just a 90. I cut just a little bit off because I try to have an angle on the inside where it tapers wider to the front. That way you can make a tighter fit with your metal. If you make it exactly 90 degrees, it's kind of hard to get in there without scratching it. So I give just a little bit. And again, when you see these 45s, I never make them from point to point. I come like a 1/4 inch, 3/8. Might tapered a little. And this one here, sometimes I don't put caulking up there because I really ain't got a line to go to. But I'm gonna do it this one. I see it's at. Make me a light line. And make it where my 3/4 will mash out on that. These little ends here, taper them down. And see they go right in that accessory groove. Well, if you can see this from the camera. And I put a nail on the face side of it. That is capped with no caulking. And I'll get me some cleaner. And you goo gone, different things. Get that good and clean. And with this caulk, try to make sure you have a clean tip. Cut that tip for the size you need. You see where I'm talking about how tight that is. It slid in that 3/8 groove. Almost waterproof right there, but it's not airproof. I run me a small bead of caulk and run that bead of caulk like you want it. Everybody uses soap, water. I wet my finger. You see that caulk I got. I wet my finger. Up under there and smear that caulk. Some people won't smear the caulk, but if you read on some of it, you have to press it down. You have to smear it to make it tack to the other side. Well, take this thing off. That way you can see a good look. I don't know what I'm seeing when this camera's on my side. Now that thing is caulked on this side and it's caulked on this side. Caulked in the bottom and caulked up underneath there, and you look how smooth that is. Oh. Got them two next. We're gonna call it a day. Man, y'all, thanks for watching. Y'all cut me some slack on not getting this camera angle just right. This is the first time I've tried to put a camera on me and do these windows, and if I get better at it, I'll try to show you step by step to do what we do. If you can't afford to somebody else do it, you might do it yourself. Man, y'all, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on the way out, and put a comment at the end where you're from. That helps YouTube, the algorithms, but we'd like to see where everybody's from that's watching our content. Have a good one.